library exterior is just around the corner. Betu, what is he sniffing?
It's got a gilded key here. An ornate key bearing the Weatherleah seal. It's unclear what it unlocks.
Betu found a key? And look, it seems Betu wants us to follow him.
Let's follow him. Oh, buddy. Right behind you.
Moons above. Is that Daedric?
It's Daedric. No health in his health bar. Poison tankard. An empty tankard with a foul-smelling residue along the rim.
Daedric's tankard. There seems to be a suspicious residue inside.
Foul-smelling tea. This seems to be a sample of Lady Weatherleah's favorite tea. It smells of ginger and hibiscus, mixed with a strange-smelling powder.
Tea? This one smells ginger, hibiscus, and something else. Something sickly.
Edric's confession. It was I, loyal cook Daedric, who killed our dear Lady Weatherleah. She planned to meet some sweet Pelena Weatherleah for tea, but I tainted her favorite blend, ginger and hibiscus, with a foul poison. The same poison I've taken as I write this letter, for I cannot bring myself to see an impostor play at our dear, late Uriel. A curse on that rogue! Despite doting on her every need, Lady Weatherleah never saw me as more than a lowly servant. Now I join her in the great dark cold beyond.
A confession, and a flowery one at that. Mizik isn't sure what to make of this.
Memorial to Uriel. Here lies the memory of a devoted son and an honorable warrior. While you never returned home, those who love you saw fit to raise a memorial in your name. The loss of such a bright light will always be a tragedy, but your memory lives on with us.
So this is the memorial Lady Weatherleah built for her son. Mizik's snout wrinkles at the stench of both fresh and old death. Betu led us to the memorial of the lost Uriel Weatherleah, and now we find the cook freshly poisoned. Let this one see the confession letter.
Here's the letter.
Why would Daedric lead us to Uriel's memorial and then kill himself? And earlier, the cook warned us of some mysterious danger. Could he have met the fate he was trying to save us from? Too many bodies and cryptic messages for this one's liking.
What about the confession?
The note says that Daedric served Lady Weatherleah poisoned tea the day she died, but the cook had already left the grounds. Otho confirmed that himself. And this letter says that Pelena was present for tea, but she said she was out all morning.
Do you think the note is a forgery?
A good question, but the memorial may be a greater clue. Lady Weatherleah had gone to great lengths to find her son, but was certain of his death to raise this memorial. Our Uriel may well be an impostor, but do not give away our upper hand.
What do we know so far?
We know the real Uriel went to fight in Varen's revolt, and that Lady Weatherleah spent a fortune to find his body. We also know from the note in the lady's study that Pelena was against looking into his death.
So what of the impostor?
Yes, our masquerading rogue. The cook was certain that he was an impostor, but what about the others? Aquilia has her suspicions, but shouldn't Pelena have known? Why hasn't she raised alarm bells and told the others?
And now the cook is dead?
And he was the only one who could have ended the imposter's ruse. But then there is Edric's confession. Could it be a forgery to throw us off the trail? Or a convenient end to our investigation? I sense another hasty painting is before us.
What's our next move?
We should question the imposter, but we mustn't let on that we know his gambit. I also have my reservations about the once and again widowed Pelena. If anyone else was aware of his ruse, it would be her. So why hasn't she said anything?
Alright, let's go question the imposter. Uriel?
Steady yourself as we approach the imposter, Uriel. This ruse may not be his only crime. It's increasingly likely that he killed Edric to keep his secret.
Mizzig Thunderboots is suspicious of the note. The facts in the note do not line up. Chef Edric Brussiner was not working the day Lady Weatherleah died, and the discovery of the memorial and the visiting Uriel Weatherleah may be an imposter. Mizzig thinks we should speak to him. Who do you think done it? Hey? Who do you think done it? I'm highly suspicious of Ithelia.
What is with all the questions, cousin? Aren't you happy to see me?
There's our imposter. Talk to him, friend.
I'll remain here until my aunt's affairs are resolved. I won't rest easy until I know justice has been brought to her killer.
Our intrepid investigators! Pelena and I were just arguing over what to do with my mother's estate. Marriage squabbles. Have you made progress with that mysterious riddle? I can fetch her if you'd like. She just went into the kitchen.
Actually, we wanted to know if you were close to the cook, Eric Brussiner.
The cook, you say? Well, as close as any young heir is with their staff. Now that I think about it, I always did find him strange. Always one for the shadows. I'm glad Pelena saw fit to fire him. I only wish I were here to do it myself.
We found him dead by the estate fountain.
Dead? What a ghastly turn of events! Hold on. Another memory is coming back to me. Yes. The cook always had a secret love for my mother. Was it grief that led him to kill himself? It must have been. You don't think he also killed Mother?
I didn't say he killed himself.
Oh, yes, of course. No, I must have gotten ahead of myself. Yes, that's it. All this death, I thought I left it behind on the battlefield, but it seems to have followed me home. Whether murderer or murderee, my heart goes out to Edric.
Thank you, Uriel. That's all.
When I
We
was a
should
kid,
speak to
I'd
Pelena
get up
next
early in the
time.
morning
There's
and
been
sit in
another
the
murder?
middle of Skywatch to watch
The
the
killer
whole
could come
place
for any
wake
one
up.
of us
I
next.
loved watching everyone go
Nonsense.
about their routines.
It's clear
smelling
Edric
on
was
the
a
smell,
troubled
seeing
man
the
who
sunrise.
killed Lady
It
Weatherleah
was like
and
a
took
play,
his own life.
just for me.
Maybe so. But I'm not leaving this room just yet.
Ember, we're all talking here. There's stakes at play, okay? You can tell me about your stories when we're running between quests or something. I don't think she's listening. She's not listening to me. Alright, let's go find Pelena. Just starts casting, playing with lightning in her hand.
Oh, Mizzig, do you have updates on your investigation?
I talk.
Mizzig, Traveler, how fares the investigation? With so much still left to speculation, I've found myself wandering the grounds, trying to keep my hands busy. I hope to have things settled soon, for all our sakes.
We found the cook dead in the garden with a note confessing to poisoning Lady Weatherleah.
Edric? A murderer? I'm astonished. I guess I was right to be suspicious of him, but now I wish I'd had him jailed when I could have. What a travesty. At least now we have some closure, and can focus on the missing fortune.
Why does the confession say you were present for Lady Weatherleah's death?
Well, the lady and I had intended to meet that morning, but it slipped my mind. If the tea was poisoned, wouldn't that make Otho the suspect? With Edric away, he would have been the one to brew the tea for Lady Weatherleah.
Are you accusing Otho of aiding the murderer?
I haven't the expertise, of course, to make such an accusation. But I do wonder. Otho and Edric have worked the estate for ages. Could they have felt entitled to a cut of the fortune? Useless speculation, perhaps, but the mind does wonder.
Thank you, Pelina. We will investigate all lingering threads. Traveler, let's speak with the gardener next.
Oh, okay. Thought I was able to use the key to open this. Maybe later. Where are you, gardener? What a lovely estate, though, despite the murders and all that. Groundskeeper?
Betu seems to have run off again. It's embarrassing, really. You'd think I'd be better at keeping a handle on him, but the dog is a free spirit. How are things? Made any progress since investigating the library?
Actually, we were wondering if you served Lady Weatherleah tea the morning she died.
It had become one of my daily duties while Edric was away. I usually try to brew her a pot before I leave for the market. Apologies for not mentioning that earlier. My daily tasks have become innumerable.
Edric is dead. He left this note confessing to poisoning Lady Weatherleah's tea.
Edric is dead? I can't believe it. No, he'd never hurt Lady Weatherleah. We were like a family. Wait, the recipe for the lady's tea is wrong. She's always found ginger to be too overwhelming. Are you sure Edric wrote this?
Are you saying Edric didn't write this?
He couldn't have. He'd never make a mistake like that. And he was nowhere near the tea that morning. I started a pot for Lady Weatherleah, and Pelina took over brewing it before I left.
Pelina was here? She said she forgot about having tea that morning.
Strange. She was most definitely here. She even offered to finish brewing it. I've been so busy as of late that I accepted her offer. It's not every day Pelina lends a hand around the estate. Wait, could Pelina have poisoned Lady Weatherleah?
Where does Lady Weatherleah take her tea?
She usually has it in her bedchambers, but the room's been locked this whole time. It seems in the commotion the key has been misplaced. It's likely her room has remained untouched since this whole tragedy began.
Music recalls a gilded key revealed to us by Betu.
If you already found the missing key, you may be able to unlock Lady Weatherleah's bedchambers.
Is it just me, or does it just... Do you want to, like, pat Mizik's nose? Just keep patting it. That's not very nice. Just keep patting it. Mizigo Thunderbootos. What a hell of a name. Alright, into the bedchamber.
If the room has truly been locked this whole time, then not even the killer could re-enter. Let us see if we can find any clues among the mess.
Dresses all been open. All the drawers pulled open. Oh, there's some coins here. Is Mizik look? Oh, he's looking right at me. She doesn't need that. Okay. Scrap of fabric. A scrap of patterned fabric that may have been torn from a high-quality garment.
This scrap of fabric seems to have been torn from an expensive dress.
Letter to Pelena. Dearest Pelena, you may not remember me, but I assure you I've never forgotten your name or the swelling script of your letter to my band of mercenaries. How curious it was to see such delicate writing spell out such a gruesome request. I still remember the shock in your husband's eyes, the way he cried out for his mother while he pawed at the dagger in his back. The memory remained an idle amusement until talk of a wealthy, elderly woman searching for a son spread through Cyrodiil. Then it struck me. Your late husband and I bore a striking resemblance. I'm sure you'll agree. We have much to discuss, dear wife. We'll have to play our parts well if you'd like to split that woman's fortune, or I could just reveal you as the murderess you are. You decide. Theophan Picta.
If this letter is true, then Pelena played a role in Uriel's death. And this signature. Is this the name of our resident imposter?
Stained teacup. A teacup bearing the Weatherleah family crest. It is stained with a foul-smelling residue.
The residue on that teacup stinks with the same foul smell as the tainted tea we found with Edric's body. Mizik would like to hear your thoughts on what we found. This note seems to confirm that Pelena Weatherleah had her husband killed while he was away from the estate. Did Lady Weatherleah read it first and confront Pelena with the truth? And what is Pelena left to do when cornered?
Pelena poisoned Lady Weatherleah.
Indeed. Pelena may have sensed an end to her cozy life. Killing Lady Weatherleah before the imposter's arrival would secure her the fortune. She couldn't have known it was hidden, and now she can't reveal the imposter without outing herself.
But Lady Weatherleah was found in the library.
A poisoned cup of tea would bring unwanted attention to Lady Weatherleah's death. Pelena's only option would have been to stage the scene. A fall from a ladder at the lady's age? Mizik can already imagine the solemn nods of acceptance.
So Pelena and the imposter Theophan?
They must have brokered an agreement. Ride out the storm of Lady Weatherleah's death and come out the other side rich. But they've stumbled along the way thanks to a curious cook and a meddling Mizik. It's time we confront our killers. Mizik heard a scream from down the hall. We must hurry.
Aquilia?
He's dead! Someone killed him!
Betu, what's wrong, boy?
Nobody leaves until Mizik finds out what happened. Traveler, there's something by the body. Quick!
I got it. Mizik, I apologize for letting my fear get the best of me. I was afraid telling you the truth would put your life at risk. I thought I could solve everything myself. Before Lady Weatherleah's death, I went through Pelena's belongings. I had always suspected she was cruel, but lately she had grown erratic, nervous, always looking over her shoulder. When I searched her room, I discovered her correspondence with Theophan Picta. She had Uriel killed, and now his assassin is here, wearing Uriel's clothes, and named like a cheap costume. I gave Lady Weatherleah a letter to prove Pelena's wrongdoing. I fear that in doing so, I doomed her. When Pelena confronted me, she demanded I return her stolen letter. I refused, told her I had hidden it, but she must have sensed my deceit. Known that I had revealed her betrayal to Lady Weatherleah, I'm sorry, it's all my fault, Edric. Betu? A strange powdery residue found around Betu's mouth. It matches the residue in Lady Weatherly's teacup.
We have to help him.
A little fella.
Something has made Betu terribly ill. I've never seen him so scared. If only I knew what was wrong, I could help him.
He was poisoned. We found the same residue in Lady Weatherly's teacup.
Wait. I recognize this smell. Yes, I couldn't place it until now. We used this poison around the estate grounds. We've fallen into such disrepair that beasts have moved into the cellars. Betu knows better than to eat this. He was forced.
Can we help him?
Yes, in the pantry. I kept a tin of medicinal herbs for this very occasion. I could never forgive myself if I had a hand in hurting Betu. Please, hurry! Get the herbs!
I'm on it.
Quickly, friend. Search the pantry.
I got it.
Music hopes we can save at least one life today.
A collection of dried herbs meant to counteract severe illnesses and maladies. Otho can use these herbs to save Betu. Here, buddy.
Betu! He's recovering. The herbs must be working.
Wonderful news. Traveler, let's discuss the note you found with our imposter.
Thank you, friend. I couldn't bear to think of what would happen if we hadn't treated Betu in time.
Our imposter is dead, and our killer nearly succeeded in taking Betu's life as well. It is also not lost on Mizik as to who is missing from this room. The note you found with imposter Theophan's body. What does it say?
It's a note from Edric. He discovered Pelena's involvement with Uriel's murder.
The lengths the cook went to protect Lady Weatherly. This one hopes she knew how dearly she was loved by her staff. There is no doubt left in this one's mind as to who our killer is.
Pelena Weatherly?
She must be held accountable for her crimes. She can't have gone far.
Betu? What is it? Where are you going?
Quickly, follow that dog.
Follow Betu?
Good boy, Betu. Your killer may very well have fled.
Weatherly Cavern?
These tunnels seem to run under the entire property. Good thing we have Betu's nose to lead us.
Oh, we got all sorts of beasts down here.
Get away from me, you beasts!
I hear Pelena's voice. She must be nearby.
It's not just a couple of creepy crawlies either.
Apologies. This one is fine. Feeling a bit... Mizik needs to stop doing that.
That's right, Mizik. Alright, it's alright, go Betu. I'm just getting distracted by shiny things.
Damn dog! How are you still alive? I've committed no wrong. That man was an imposter. If I hadn't gotten him first, then he would have killed me. I spit on Theophan Pictor's name for masquerading as my dear Uriel.
We know you had Uriel killed.
How could you possibly say that? Whose inane rambling convinced you of such nonsensical drivel? Everyone is out to frame me. Theophan, Otho, even that damned Edric.
It's over, Pelena.
Damn this rotting estate. Everything I did, everyone I killed, I did it for my own survival. I hope it crumbles into dust just like that crone and her son. I spit on their graves.
Damn, Pelena.
The Count of Skingrad will decide your fate.
Helena, why would you hurt Betu?
Because this whole family can rot for all I care. Everything was going fine until that idiot Theophan came bumbling back into my life.
You've done great work today, Traveler. The air is heavy with death. But just like the sun, truth will come out. If only Lady Weatherleah could see Pelena beaten at her own game.
What happens now?
Pelena will be delivered to Skingrad. With the evidence in hand, she should face charges for the deaths of Uriel, Lady Weatherleah, and our impostor. While it's possible Theophan killed Edric, I am certain she played a role.
What of the missing fortune?
To think this one nearly forgot about our remaining golden thread. Ithelia is the only living relative. Mizik supposes she will inherit the fortune. Not that we found a single coin to give her.
We must have missed something.
Fortune aside, what we accomplished today is no small feat. If the fortune was to be found, we'd have stumbled upon it during our investigation.
What have you got there, boy?
It seems Betu has brought us something.
A dusty golden goblet? Aside from Betu's slobber, it's clear that this ornate goblet is worth a hefty amount of gold.
Betu, where did you find this? Betu? Otto, escort Pelena back to the manor. We will follow the dog.
Let's go. Hang on, Betu. Betu's so quick.
Missy can't believe it. Is this Lady Weatherleah's missing fortune? Let us investigate.
Note from Lady Weatherleah. If you're reading this letter, then Betu trusted you with our hidden fortune. I had hoped that one day I'd pass these treasures on to my son Uriel, but I learned recently that the woman I cared for like a daughter betrayed me, and so it became necessary to hide the fortune she is clearly so hungry to acquire. I haven't gathered all the proof yet, but I called upon a dear friend who can help bring her crimes to light. If I don't live long enough to see her downfall, let this document serve to make my final wishes clear. My dear dog Betu and the staff that has looked after the both of us while I retreated into my grief, I received my remaining fortune and the estate. They are what remains of my family, and through them the memory of my dear Uriel will live on. To Edric and Otho, I thank you for making my grieving a little more comfortable. I hope this fortune helps you look after the greatest gift my son ever gave me, my dear and faithful Betu.
Lady Weatherleah must have left that note before her death. We should show it to Ithelia.
Ithelia? Oh, Jesus!
He's all right.
That's it, buddy. Just keep talking to yourself. Pretty extensive, these caverns. Wonder if you go here in Oblivion, whether it exists.
Helena, is it true? After everything my aunt did for you,
I don't owe you an explanation, Ithelia. Everything was going fine.
I can't believe Betu was so brave. Chasing down Pelina like that. I've never seen him so singularly focused.
Ithelia?
Otho did his best to explain your findings. But is it really true? Helena is to blame for this nightmare?
Yes, Pelina Weatherly was our killer.
I thought she was acting strangely, but I blamed it on the grief. I would never have expected her to be capable of all this. And what of Uriel? What was his role in all this?
He was an imposter. He wanted a cut of the fortune after helping kill Uriel.
I knew something was off about him. But to think he also played a role in killing my cousin. Lady Weatherly gave Pelina a comfortable life, looked after her every need. All this death, in the pursuit of an absent fortune.
Actually, we found the missing fortune, along with a letter from Lady Weatherly.
Betu was safeguarding the fortune this whole time? It's a strange request, leaving the remaining fortune to Betu and her staff? But I wouldn't dare go against my aunt's wishes. How sweet. Lord Betu of Weatherly.
You have got to be joking. The dog!
I can't believe it. There must be some mistake.
There's no mistake, Otho. I will help oversee the transfer of ownership. You and Betu will have all your needs seen to.
Excellent work, my friend. Let us speak. Many lives were lost, despite our best efforts. There is certainly joy to be found in our success, but this one will spend many a night wondering if there was more that could be done. Perhaps he is not as good an investigator as he thought.
Lady Weatherly and her son can rest easy, thanks to you.
Do not downplay your role either, friend. You forget, Mizik was a bumbling mess, chasing a sneeze-inducing beast. Betu, until you arrived. You deserve a reward for your work, but know that this one is in your debt.
Investigator Gob?
Mizik hopes news of this case strikes fear in the heart of all criminals who think they have gotten away with their crimes. No matter how many years go by, justice is still hunting, and Mizik will find you in the end.
What will you do now?
Mizik will stay for a while as executor of the estate, but he cannot linger long. There are crimes that require his attention, and he must hurry before the trail goes cold.
But we just solved a crime?
Yes, and Mizik could not have done it without you. But resting in the shade of one's success is too long, dulls the claws. We will meet again, friend, and criminals will tremble at the thunder of our boots. Mizik likes saying that part.
He does, he sure does.
I've always preferred cats. But you've made a good argument for dogs, Betu.
This one thinks Betu likes you.
Oh, well, you do seem like a very good boy. I'll be sure to order a lifetime supply of steak dinners.
Wow.
Don't worry. I'll take care of all the remaining paperwork and help get Otho and Betu on their feet. Thank you for everything you've done today. I hope my dear aunt can rest easy now.
What will you do now?
I'll ensure that Otho and Betu are recognized as the estate owners. From there, it's largely up to Otho. I'd imagine he'd want to hire staff and begin tending to the estate grounds again. At the very least, I'll make sure he rests.
And Betu?
It might sound strange, leaving an estate to a dog, but wealth can be funny like that. I once attended a masquerade in Somerset, organized by a pet cat. Everything has paled in comparison since. Betu's a good boy. I'm sure he'll adjust.
How do you feel about this arrangement?
If I'd found out when I first arrived, I may have been a little more concerned. But after seeing the way Otho dotes on Betu, and knowing how much that dog meant to my aunt, I have no qualms. This is what she wanted.
It's the best part of the quest. Alright. Otho?
The estate and its fortune are left to Betu and me? I've always thought that Lady Weatherly's generosity was unrivaled, but this... it's almost too much. I assure you, I'll see to all of Betu's needs. We're family, after all.
What will you do now?
I don't even know. How does one run an estate? I'll have to hire staff, of course, then get around to the gardens. It's been ages since I've done a proper pruning. Oh, it's all so much, isn't it? But I'll have Betu. He'll keep me sane.
You really care about Betu, don't you?
Course I do. Never had a pet or siblings. And I've been tending to rich folks' gardens ever since I could use a pair of shears. It wasn't until this estate that I felt like I could breathe. Be myself. Have friends. Betu's a part of that.
Don't look at me like that. You would have done the same thing in my shoes.
Why did you do it?
The fortune was always my goal. I was happy playing the doting wife, but when Uriel went off to battle, I got greedy. Some old and unsavory acquaintances put me in touch with an assassin, Theophan. I thought I had it all figured out.
But you killed him too.
The fool thought he could show up and demand half the fortune for himself. And the more you and that investigator dug, the more reckless he became. When he threatened to out me and take the entirety of the fortune, I knew I had to kill him.
Now it's Betu who will receive the fortune.
That wretched old woman had one last twist of the knife up her sleeve. I hope she's enjoying this from whatever corner of oblivion she's in. Damned woman never did like me. She was right, but still.
Music Hope's news of this case strikes fear in the heart of all criminals who think they have gotten away with their crimes. No matter how many years go by, justice is still hunting.
Justice? Oops, sorry. Alright, well I think that is that for this quest, as it is now complete. I thought it would have gone a different way. I thought it would have been all the fingers were pointed in all the different directions, but there was one person which was quite quiet the whole time. And it was her the whole time, but no, she's pretty cool. She's alright. Alright, and we're off, okay, so another death. Well, let's start heading this direction. I'm sure there'll be a time when we go this way, going towards the next part of the main quest. But yeah, there's something here, so we'll go off in that direction. Folks, if you're enjoying the series so far, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you in the next episode.